NFTs have become a vast and vibrant marketplace, and it's just getting started.
So people want to know what to look for in an NFT. I ask you, Joel Kruger, how do you assess one? What qualities do you look for?
For me, it's always looking for something that speaks to me in a way where I understand it. Many times I like that it's trying to do something different, or it's looking to push the boundaries as far as the experimentation of where we might be able to go with this technology.
Currency expert Joel Kruger is the mind behind NFT Wealth Builder, helping investors navigate this new space where unique digital assets have value and anyone can trade them without intermediaries. And if a piece is cutting edge, Joel is paying attention.
Art, community, culture, and then utility are the things that I look for. Do I think that there's going to be a community around this and a culture around it that will be able to sustain itself?
He says those qualities are in the Tom Sachs Rocket Factory, a recent recommendation that's already, skyrocketed, showing great returns.
These are components for 1,000 rockets. Each component is unique and is a non-fungible token.
Joel interviewed Sachs for NFT Wealth Builder subscribers. Sachs has been a renowned artist for decades.
You're known as a sculptor, right? And you're coming from that world and you're coming into the digital space, and yet you have so much of a connection to all of these incredible films.
I like art in any form, and I don't care if it's a canvas or a marble or a JPEG.
The Rocket Factory is a chance for collectors to essentially create their own NFT. They can buy 3 separate components and combine them in any way they want. Real brands are part of the art.
There's a Simpsons rocket, there's a 7-Eleven rocket. If you're collecting them, you can form what he calls a Franken rocket, like a Frankenstein rocket, which is like a blend of the different brands.
This is a perfect rocket. Uniform in its coloring, cohesive in its branding.
And we've since seen Budweiser has come out and collected its rocket.
Tiffany just bought its rocket for $380,000.
It's been really nice to see that. It was something that I thought about when the project was launched, was that how cool would it be if these brands want to get involved and they want to participate and they want to buy into this project. It's a good way for them to get exposure to NFTs, to dip into the space. Tom is asking the question about the relationship between the physical and the digital, and can both coexist, which he believes. As a project, it's just going to become more and more important.
Joel guides investors to pieces he thinks will appreciate over time. The Tom Sachs project is one of them.
It's a no-brainer. The value proposition is already there, and just how interesting this is, and what we have the opportunity to be a part of with somebody who's already so accomplished.
Another notable NFT project, Street Lab, the brand new platform for street art, a form of art that hasn't always been accepted in the mainstream.
You know, we're talking about a time where you have all these platforms now, these big platforms that people use for NFTs. They're these like mass repositories. And now when you're talking about these niche verticals that are happening, niche platforms around specific forms of art or whatever it might be, well, that starts to be interesting too. So to me, it was just like, hey, I love street art. I think it's super cool. And now there's a project that's kind of embracing that.
Do you imagine that this niche will take off?
We've seen that graffiti art and street art has been around for a long time. And so if they can capture that market and they can bring artists that are in it already into this project, I think it could be very, very successful.
Joel says, in general, the secret to success is to get in early. And specifically with Street Lab, right now, prices are appealing.
The cool thing is the value proposition is always something I think about. And to buy one of these NFTs, it's going to be less than 0.1 ETH. So 0.1 is $300, depending on where ETH is trading. So pretty cheap. And certainly when you compare it to other projects I've been talking about and recommending, this one's on the low end as far as entry price. So from a risk reward standpoint, it becomes almost silly not to want to participate.
And here, the utility aspect, the different benefits you get for investing, means more art.
The nice thing about the utility of this project is there are different levels of participation based on how many you collect. Just by owning one of these NFTs, you effectively are given the right to participate in future NFT drops that the public wouldn't have access to. So even on the smallest level of participation, you're ensuring yourself rights to future drops and future art that comes out through the project.
And I know, Joel, you don't like to talk about your own digital creations, but you have a striking new piece out.
It's called Wag Mes Fry Shack. Wag Me is an acronym for We Are Gonna Make It. There was just a vibe that I wanted, and I wanted it to be this beach bar feel and just a fun place where, you can hang out, maybe take in some art and some live music.
Then they'll say, we're gonna make it.
If I could jump through the computer screen and enter that beach scene and listen to that music all day, that would be a good thing.
Thank you. I have entertained the idea or teased the idea of perhaps buying a place and kind of making that an in real life version of Wag Mes Fry Shack. I've been talking about doing something like that for years, so maybe it'll happen.
Just one example of the intersection between the digital and physical realms. Expect many ways to invest and profit from it in the coming months and years as blockchain technology advances and different uses for NFTs gain more and more momentum.
NFT analyst Joel Kruger, thank you so much for your expertise today.
Jessica, my pleasure always.